Yes, guys. Good evening, all. Good morning, guys. Okay. Just 1 minute. Mauni and Shyamala. Mauni, Shyamala. Please click on join audio so that you can hear me. Yes. Shyamala. Still you have to join with your audio. Right, okay? Chalo. Okay, guys, okay. So let me start our session. Any questions, any doubts before starting the session? Anyone having any questions, guys?
No doubt.
Nothing. Everything is fine.
Nothing my side.
Okay. If you don't have any questions, I'll ask the questions, guys. Fine? Ready?
Okay, right.
Done. Chalo. Okay, what you can do in the Zoom, okay? You can send messages directly to me. Don't send it to everyone. Set the status directly to me and answer my questions, guys. Okay? Fine. So, what is meant by SQL Server? Very simple question. What is meant by? Don't answer your questions. Just type your answers. Okay? Don't answer that question and all. Just type your answers and send the answers directly to me. What is meant by SQL Server? What is SQL Server? Got to answer still now? Only two answers. Prithvi, SQL Service Database Server, okay. Shyamala, it is a standard query language, not standard Shyamala, structured query language, okay. And it is a software which will store, process, and Mohandas, good. It's an RDBM software to store data, retrieve data processing, and all good. Girija, Imtiaz, it's a database server, okay. Sandeep, it's an RDBM server, okay. SQL Server is an RDBMS and use it to turn, okay. SQL Server is the database to store the data, process the data, retrieve the data, fine. Good, guys, okay, good. So SQL Server is an RDBMS software which is going to use to store the data, to process the data, and to retrieve the data, guys. Okay, SQL Server is an RDBMS software to store the data, to process the data, and to retrieve the data. So for every application, how many tiers will be there? Generally, what is the architecture of the application? How many tiers will be there in the application architecture? Three tiers. Very good. Very good. Can anyone tell me what are those tiers? Very good. Application and database. Okay, very good. Very good, Monica. Who is the vendor of the SQL Server, guys? Very good. Very good. Very good. Fine. Okay, what and all other RDBMS softwares are there in the market? What and all other RDBMS softwares are there in the market?
IBM.
Oracle.
Oracle. Okay.
Database. MySQL.
Open the door. Okay.
MySQL.
Oracle,
MongoDB,
Okay. Okay. Very good.
MySQL,
Okay.
My
Very good.
Oracle,
Okay.
Oracle, Python.
Oracle,
Okay. Fine. Okay. So how many types of environments are there in the organization? Environments. Types of environments.
This is four types.
production environment,
Okay.
development environment,
Okay.
testing environment,
Mm-hmm.
QA environment.
UAT QA developer.
Who is that Goda? Fine, okay. So we have different types of environments, especially two, prod and non-prod. Again, in the non-prod, we have stage, prod, dev, QA, and test environments are there. UAT, user acceptance test. Right, fine, guys. Okay, I'm happy that you people are responding. Chalo, we'll jump into the discussion. So, as discussed in the morning, SQL Server is an RDBMS software which is going to use to store the data, to process the data, and to retrieve the data. So, in the three-tier architecture, if they are using, okay, if they are using database server, Microsoft SQL Server in the back end, okay, so that will be like a MS SQL DBA, SQL DBA, MS SQL DBA, SQL Server DBA, all are same. Okay, MS means Microsoft, SQL DBA, SQL Server DBA, MS SQL DBA, all are same. Again, in the SQL Server we have two guys, two flavors. Okay, one is development flavor. Okay, development flavor. Second one is DBA flavor. So development means those who are going to write queries, write scripts and all. Okay, programming, complete programming. So we are not going to touch any programming. So in the SQL Server DBA, generally we don't have any programming. We are not going to touch any programming. If you are interested, if you are very much interested towards programming and all, you can learn T-SQL, Transact SQL. You can learn T-SQL, guys, Transact SQL. T-SQL is a language. SQL, what is SQL? Structured query language, guys. Okay, SQL means structured query language. It's one language, like how we are communicating with English language. To communicate with the database, we need one language. That language is called structured query language. In structured query language, in SQL Server, in SQL language, we have again different flavors. T-SQL, which is going to use to communicate with the Microsoft SQL servers. SQL servers. PLSQL, which is going to use to communicate with the Oracle servers. Okay, so in the same way we have, okay, light speed. So we have different versions are there. So generally as a SQL DBA, it's good to learn T-SQL, but again no one will ask you why, because developers are different, DBAs are different. Whatever developers work is there, so we have to fulfill their requirements as a DBA. So DBA means completely maintenance activities will be there. It's good to have T-SQL knowledge, but again it's not mandatory to have this programming language and all. It's good to learn the things generally in the performance tuning and all. If you have good knowledge in the T-SQL, so you can speed up the queries and all. That knowledge you can use to speed up your queries and all, in case if queries are running slow. Right, so generally what is the software? It's a database software, right? It's a database software. So when we have invented the software, can anyone tell me when this software is invented? This was invented by yes, okay, this was invented by Sybase, not Microsoft.
Sybase.
It was invented by Sybase. Then Microsoft take over the Sybase technology. Okay, initially it was invented in the 1980s. Sybase invented the SQL Server. Later Microsoft take over that Sybase. So then onwards the vendor will become a Microsoft, guys. Chalo. So it's a database, right? So database is a repository which is going to use to store the data. Database is a common repository. Common repository. So in this database we are going to store the data, guys. Before database, in which mode we are going to store the data? Before database. Very good. Flat files. Very good.
Floppy drive.
Floppy, that is like that is storage, that is different. I'm asking the software.
Fox Pro.
Fox Pro something. See, before database we have like Excel sheets, we have flat files, we have notepads to store the data. Before notepads we used to store the data on papers. Before papers,
Stone.
stone, we have this. Before stone and all, after stone we have this, what is that, leaves. We used to use leaves and all to store the data. And before leaves we used to have stones and all. That stone is, we used to store the data on stones. Now also you can see some scripts on the stones, right? So stones, from stones, then leaves, then your papers, then cloths also we used. Cloth also we used to store the data. And then we have, once the software is invented, once the computer is invented, we use it to store the data in flat files. Then Excel sheet. So Excel sheet is also a database, guys. Okay, your Excel sheet also a database. Excel sheet is also a database. But what is, it's a see, database or software, all are softwares only. Database is also software. It's one kind of database software. Excel sheet is also one kind of database software. Now also you can use Excel sheet. What is the challenge, guys? Why we are not using Excel sheets to store the data? Why? Because every software will have some limitations, and that too we are keep on generating the data. Earlier we used to use 512 KB of phones. Later we started 512 MB. Then 1 GB phones are there. Then 4 GB. Then 8 GB. 16 GB phones. 32 GB phones. 64 GB phones. 128 GB phones. 256 GB phones also there now in the market. So 128 is nothing, guys. Earlier we are not going to store any data. So that 512 KB is enough for us. But nowadays what happened? We are keep increasing our data, guys. We are keep increasing our data. We are storing lot of things. Even 128 GB of phone is also not sufficient. Every 1 year we are going to take the backup and we are going to keep it in the laptop somewhere, and we are going to clean our device. See how much data you are generating. So in the database, terabytes of data is going to be generated. Terabytes of data is going to be processed, guys. So that's why Excel sheet you cannot use as a backend. Excel sheet also you can use to store the data. Excel sheet you can use to process the data. We can process the data using Excel sheet. We can we can do additions, we can do subtractions, multiplications, whatnot. We can generate beautiful reports using Excel sheet. But the challenge is, what is the challenge we have? It cannot store terabytes of data. In case it can able to store, but the data retrieving is very slow. Imagine if you have 1 GB Excel sheet, it will take lot of time to load. So after this Excel sheets and all, okay, this is not good way of storing the data. Then they invented this database software, guys. Then they invented this database softwares and all. Earlier, Sybase is one of the data. Sybase invented this Microsoft SQL Server. Later, what happened? Microsoft take over that Sybase logic, and then it just developed, guys. So this is the history of the SQL Server, right? Chalo. Sorry. Repository means it's a common storage area. It's just a storage area. Repository is a common storage area. Right, guys, so let's discuss about the versions of the SQL Server. Okay, so we'll start with the versions of the SQL Server. Just a minute, let's start with the versions of the SQL Server, what and all versions are there. And just 1 minute, guys, I'm getting one call. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute, guys. I'm just opening that notepad. Give me a minute.
Okay.
Right, chalo. So we'll start with the versions. Okay, so what are the versions? What are different versions are there? Okay, so we'll start with the version. What is meant by version, guys? What is a version?
It's a update, sir.
Very good. It's just an updated software. Okay, version is nothing but an updated software. An updated software copy is called one version. So we have this experience, right? Earlier, generally, we have different versions. Say, for example, if you go for Android, you people are using, we are using Android phones, right? So we are using iPhones, we are using Android phones. In case if you go for Android phones, you can see Android earlier, Android 4, Android 5, Android 6. Android 7 operating system, Android 8 operating system, Android 9, like that. Now currently Android 12 is going on. In the same way in the iPhone 4, iPhone 5, iPhone 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now currently it's iPhone 14 Pro plus something like that we have. So that's just an updated software, guys. We can say it's an updated software. If you compare Android 13 and 14, you don't see major changes, right? But if you compare Android 4 and Android 12, you can see major changes. If you compare an iPhone 3 and iPhone 14, major changes will be there. But if you compare iPhone 13 and iPhone 14, you don't see major changes. Okay, so Microsoft started its journey in the year of 1997, guys. Microsoft started its journey in the year of 1997. After they bought the logic from the Sybase, they just started developing that logic, and then they released one version into the market, that is SQL Server 1997. This number, okay, this number is going to reflect in which year that software is released. Okay, in the year of 1997, Microsoft released its first version, guys. Earlier also it just released 93 and all, but it was not so famous. Okay, then 97 onwards it was so famous, guys. And especially SQL Server 2000, guys, believe me, I'm going to explain what are these numbers. Don't worry about it. Okay, so I'm going to explain these numbers. So SQL Server 2000, when compared to 97, SQL Server 2000 was so famous, and by that time there is no GUI, graphical user interface. Why people will love to learn SQL Server generally? It's a graphical user interface, guys. GUI. Okay, so generally we have GUI and CUI. GUI and QUI. GUI means graphical user interface, guys. Graphical user interface means like how you are accessing your laptops, how you are creating a new folder, how you are deleting a folder. Like, you know, right? Right click refresh, right click new folder, right click create folder, right click delete folder, right click copy, right click paste. This is called graphical user interface. So generally how the things will work in the Windows or any operating system. What is the difference between Linux and Windows operating system, guys? So Linux completely will work with the queries only. You should know the queries to operate Linux machine. To operate Windows machine also you should know the queries, but you are not going to run any queries, guys. For example, now I am doing a refresh. Right click, I am just going to do a refresh. So now the screen is refreshed. But when you select this refresh button, in the back end, one query will run. It is going to refresh the system. So when I am creating a new folder, right click folder, if you choose batch 48, okay, so what happened here, you are simply right click and you are selecting new folder, right, and you are renaming that folder, right, but in the back end one query will run. Your operating system don't know what is right click and what is new folder and all, but your graphical user interface will convert your actions into command. That command will run when you click OK, and that command is going to create this folder. That command is going to rename this folder, guys. So the command, no need to remember that command. This graphical user interface is helping you to prepare that query. Clear? So that is the power of GUI. Once Microsoft invented this GUI, lot of that computer becomes personal computer, guys. Earlier, that computers will be only with the organizations, companies and all. Later, once Microsoft simplifies these things, then it became a personal computer, PC. Everyone can access this PC and all. Why? Because it's very easy, right? So other database softwares we have, what is the challenge with other database softwares like Oracle and all? We should know the queries. But what is the advantage with the SQL Server? What is the advantage with the SQL Server? It's a graphical user interface. From SQL Server 2000 onwards, Microsoft made this graphical user interface. So it was so famous in the year of 2000, guys. It's almost vanishes the database market in the database complete market. It vanishes. Microsoft vanishes complete database market with the help of SQL Server 2000. It was so famous by that time. After 5 years, they invented one more version. Okay, they released one more version called 2005. It was released in the year of 2005. If you go for Oracle, we have different versions of Oracle. Oracle 6, 7, Oracle 10, 10C, something like that. Okay, in the same way, yeah, 12B, something like that. So in the same way, we have different versions in SQL Server also. So this version was invented in SQL Server 2000, in the year of 2000. Later, 5 years, after 5 years, 2005, they released one more version. So in the year of 2008, they released one more version, and then they released one more version in the same year 2008. So that's why it is called release 2. Generally, if any movies are super hit, they are going to go for second release, right? In the same way, they released one more version called 2008 R2, release 2. R means release 2. Then after 4 years, they released one more version called 2012, then 2014, then 2016. In the year of 2017, they released 2017, then 2019, 2022 is the latest version, guys, in SQL servers. Last year it was released. Last year November, I guess it was released. It was released to the public. Okay, so do I need to remember all these numbers? Yes. All these numbers should be on tip of your tongue. All these numbers should be on tip of your tongue, guys. You have to remember these numbers: 2000, 2005, 8, 8, R2, 12, 14, 16, 17, 19, 22. I'll explain what is this 7.0, 8.0, 9.0, 10.0, 10.50, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, I'm going to explain. I'm going to explain these numbers also. These numbers also I'm going to explain. So what is SQL Server, guys? It's a software, right? So where we are going to install the software? Where we are going to install the software?
In OS
On
levels.
operating system, right? Without operating system, if you want to install a phone pay application, you should have Android phone, right? Without Android phone, can you install phone pay or GPay or WhatsApp or some other Instagram? You cannot install, right? Any application, if you want to install any application, you should have an operating system. Without operating system, you cannot install any application, guys. So which operating system is going to help us for SQL servers? Windows operating system. If you want to install SQL Server, you should have one operating system. What is an operating system? Operating system is an interface between the user and the machine. Operating system is an interface between the user. User means those who are using. User and the machine. You want to create a new folder. You are going to tell to the system, hey system, create new folder. It is not going to create. You have to give instructions. Like, so who is going to take that instructions and who is going to create? Your operating system. Where it is going to store the data? We will have storage. What is that, guys? We will have storage in the system. CUI means what? Command user interface. Command user interface. So in our Windows also we have CUI. Windows are, if you just open CMD and you can see this command, guys. Okay, if you want to see server name, host name, it will give you server name, guys. If you want to see the time, type time. If you want to create a new folder, mkdir. So like this, if you want to exit, so it is going to, sometimes it is going to exit all control C. So you can exit, guys. You can shut down also, shutdown, shut down. These are different queries that you can run. Sometimes it will take, there is a separate query, shutdown -r, something like that. Okay, so in the Windows we have GUI, in the Windows we have CUI also. Okay, whatever things you are doing now, if you know the command, you can achieve it with the CUI option also. Fine. So in the machine, generally bare metal. What is this bare metal, guys? Bare metal means It's just a blank machine, guys. Nothing is there in that. If you buy one new laptop, generally he will just open that box and he is going to install an operating system, guys. Without operating system, no machine can run. Operating system is a kind of life. We have our eyes, nose, ears, hands, legs, but we have the life also. Then only we can operate all these things and all. In the same way, without operating system, you cannot operate the computer or machine, computer, server, all are same, guys. Okay, fine. So when you install an operating system, then you can work with that machine, then you can interfere, you can talk with that machine and all. So operating system is an interface between you and the machine, right? Clear? So we will have different components are there in the server, in the laptop. Generally we will have RAM, okay, or memory. We will have storage or ROM or storage, CPU, different types of, okay, components will be there. Yeah, so different types of components will be there. So you should know all these things, what RAM will do, what ROM will do, what CPU will do. So you have to know these things, guys. Generally, for example, I'll give you a simple example. You want to add this, guys, okay, you want to do this mathematical calculation, okay. 2 plus 2 into 7 divided by, where is that, divided by where is that, divided by something like 23. Now you want to do this mathematical calculation, guys. So can anyone tell me how it will work? Or let me go with 2. Can anyone tell me?
By BODMAS rule.
BODMAS, right? What is this BODMAS?
Bracket of division, multiplication,
Right,
addition.
first it will do a bracket of, then division, then multiplication, then addition, then subtraction. So here it is not going to add 2 plus 2 first. As per this rule, what is the division? First division will come, okay, 4 by 2. How much? 2. Who is going to do this thing? Who is going to do this calculation? Your CPU will do this calculation. And this 2 result, where it is going to store? Temporarily it will store in the RAM. And then 2 plus 2, how much? 4. Total 2 plus 4. Okay, this is called processing. This will be done by your CPU, central processing unit. Your data will be processed by CPU, but whatever results, that outcome is there, temporarily it is going to store in the RAM. RAM or memory, both are same. It is going to store the data temporarily. Then finally you want to save this notepad. Where it is going to save? In the storage. ROM, read only memory. RAM means random access memory. ROM, read only memory. So when you store this, when you temporarily store this result, where it is going to store? In the disk. Okay, in the disk it is going to store. So you are going to store permanently. RAM is going to store the data temporarily until this processing is going to completed. It will store the data temporarily in the RAM. But what ROM will do, what disk will do? It is going to store the results permanently in the disk. When you restart your server or laptop, whatever you stored in the RAM will be cleared completely. But when you restart your laptop, D drive, E drive, anything is going to clear, guys? Anything is going to be deleted? No. Why? Because ROM will store the data permanently until you delete it. See, for example, when I restart, I am going to lose this document if I don't save it, right? This is an untitled document, I haven't saved it. If I restart the computer, I am going to lose this. Why? Because it is going to store in RAM. But when I restart, I am not going to lose any of these objects, guys, on my desktop. Why? Because these objects stored permanently in the disk. When you restart, temporary objects will be deleted. Okay, when you restart, permanent objects are not going to be deleted. Why? Because permanently stored means it is going to store in the disk, guys. ROM, read only memory. Clear, everyone? Any questions here?
I have
No,
one
sir.
question.
Yes, please.
2 plus 2 into 4 by 2. This is like operation. This one, no, same Oracle arithmetical operator. Hello. Sorry.
I'm sorry, guys. Yes, I didn't get your question.
Hmm. Sorry, sir.
No problem, you can tell me.
In case in Oracle, Oracle in arithmetical operation plus minus division, this one.
I don't know what is this Oracle. In this point, why Oracle will come here?
Okay.
Oracle is different. That's the database software. I'm just explaining about our laptop, how it will work.
Okay. Sorry, sir.
No problem, no problem.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. Guys, any questions here?
I have one question.
Yes, please.
GUI CPU different, main different.
GUI?
GUI CPU CUI. Sorry.
CUI.
CUI.
See, GUI means the one you can see on the screen. If you want to open Windows, you will simply click Windows.
Okay.
But in the back end, when you click here, there is a different command will run. When you click here, there is a different command will run. When you click here, there is a different command will run. That command is CUI. Okay, so QUI means only commands will be there. QUI means only commands will be there. If you want to create a new folder, you have to write a command. If you want to delete that folder, you have to write a command. That is called CUI, command user interface. But GUI is something like this. Now you can see on the screen, right? I want to create new folder. I can create it. This is graphics, guys. Just a graphics. Using this graphics, you are simply selecting this option and you are renaming this folder. This is graphics. This is called graphical user interface. You can create folder in two ways, using command, using graphics also. GUI means using graphics. Command means using command. You are going to create the same folder. Any questions here?
Can you please repeat the CPU for me? I missed that part.
So you want to know what CPU will do?
Yes, please.
CPU simply it is going to process the data. That's it.
Okay.
So who will do these mathematical calculations and all will be done by CPU. 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2. This will be done by CPU, Central Processing Unit. It can only do the calculations. Not only calculations, it can do lot of data processing and all. I'm just giving you a basic example with the calculations, with mathematics and all. Always your CPU only will work and it is going to process the data. And RAM and ROM, they are going to store the data. That's it. They don't do anything. For example, see, this is how it will work. Now you want to type one notepad. Parallelly, you want to listen the songs. Parallelly, you just started one process. So who is going to take care of all these processes? Parallelly, you are listening songs. Parallelly, you are typing one document. And you are doing some other things in the system. Your CPU will control all the processes. CPU is a kind of brain. How your brain is controlling your body, CPU also will control the whole machine. Your brain will do calculations and all. It is going to process the data. So the system brain is CPU simply. Okay? Fine. Any questions here, please? Chalo guys. Okay, so we are discussing about operating systems, right? So SQL Server is an application. We can install this application on an operating system. On what operating
Clear.
system? Yes, on what operating system we can install the SQL Server? Generally, we can install the SQL Server on Windows operating systems. Generally, as of now, you can install the SQL Server on Windows operating system. So in the Windows operating system, again we have two types, guys. Can anyone tell me what are those two types? Desktop operating systems, server operating systems. Desktop operating systems means your Windows home and premium, okay, and Windows 7. I hope you know Windows 7. Okay, Windows 7, we have different versions in the desktop operating system, right? Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10. Currently, you people are, we are using Windows 10, and finally, what is the recent version in the desktop operating systems, guys? Windows 11. Okay, finally, Windows 11. Currently, we are using, we are all, some of you are using Windows 11, some of you are using Windows 10, Windows 11. So we have server operating systems also. So we'll discuss about server operating systems. We have different versions in the server operating systems. How we have different versions in the SQL server, we have different versions in the server operating system also. Like we have different versions in the desktop operating systems, we have different versions in the server operating system. First of all, you should know the difference. Sir, why we are not using desktop operating systems in the organization? Why we have server operating systems? Both are almost same, right? Both are almost same, but the thing is, this desktop operating system is for personal usage. This is for personal usage. So that's why generally your personal laptops will be 4 GB RAM, 8 GB RAM, 16 GB RAM maximum. But in the organization, you are going to process terabytes of data. 4 GB is not even a peanut also. We have to manage 128 GB of RAM, 256 GB of RAM, 512 GB of RAM, not storage, guys. 256, 128, 512, 1 terabyte of RAM machines also will be there. Why? Because it has to process lot of data. Your 4 GB is not even sufficient for us only. When you turn on your laptop, if you have 4 GB, it will take lot of time to process to open any application. So that's why we have 16 GB, and once our work is completed, we are going to shut down our laptop, but servers are going to be up and running 24/7. So what I mean to say, servers will have more capability when compared to desktop operating systems. Servers can run months and months without shutdown, without restart. Server can run months and months, guys. Sometimes years also it will be up and running. Years also it will be up and running. Server should have maximum storage, maximum RAM. Why? Because we are going to store data in the servers, guys. So this server has to process terabytes of data. So if you have 128 GB, 256 GB, then only it can process terabytes of data. You can see, right, that weather recommendations and all on your phone, how it is recommending now this temperature, this much rain, this much humidity, this much pollution, how it is doing all these things. How we are going to get those details? Your satellites are processing terabytes of images. Your satellites are processing lakhs of images, terabytes of data it's processing, and it is finalizing the data and it is giving it to you. So servers generally they will run 24/7 and they will have much capability when compared to desktop operating systems. That's why we don't use desktop operating systems in the organization. Only for our personal laptops we'll use desktop operating systems, like in the organization or in our personal usage also. If you selected for any company, they will give you one personal laptop. Only that personal laptops we are going to use desktop operating systems, this Windows 10, 11 and all. But server operating systems generally will be used for more computation and all. Generally it will be used for more computation and all. Okay, so server, when compared to desktop, server operating systems will have more capabilities. Clear now? But the interface, mostly interface is same, guys. How your Windows 10 will be there, Windows 2019 also will be there in the same way. The interface is almost same. Only difference between the capacity between the desktop and the servers are different, guys. That's it. RAM capacity, storage capacity, processing capacity, CPU, even cores also. 1 minute, please, 1 minute. Hello? Right, chalo. Any questions till now, please?
Sir,
Yes, please.
can you again repeat the difference between desktop OS and server OS?
Sure,
of-
sure, sure, no problem. See, desktop means, okay, the best example, desktop means your personal laptops. Generally, how we are going to use our laptops generally, for what purpose? Hardly to type any document, to listen the songs, or else to connect to any applications and all, right? To open any websites and all. Only for this purpose we are going to use our personal laptops. So for this we need 8 GB RAM or 4 GB or 8 GB or 16 GB, hardly it is enough, sufficient for us. But servers, as I told you, we are going to install SQL servers on the Windows servers, right? So this SQL server is going to store terabytes of data based on the requirements. It is going to store terabytes of data. To process the terabytes of data, desktop operating systems are not sufficient. The capability of desktop operating systems are not sufficient to process terabytes of data. It cannot process terabytes of data. So to process terabytes of data, we need more big machines. That big machine is called your server operating system. Desktop is small, server is big. That's it, guys. Very simple language. Desktop is small, used for small purpose and all. Server is big, used to process the terabytes of data or big data.
On this Windows 7, 8, and 10 and 11, these are also part of the storage now.
Not part of storage. Those are different versions of the desktop operating systems. Okay, so whatever you can see now, you are using Windows 10, right, in your laptop, right? So that is one version. Before Windows 10, what we have? Windows 8. 8.1 is also there. That was not so famous. And before Windows 8, we have Windows 7, Windows Home, Windows Premium, Windows Vista. So these are all very basic versions. If you go back and see, and if you see the difference between Windows Home and Windows 11, you can see major difference, right? I hope you have seen Windows Home and you have seen Windows 11 or Windows 12 also. There will be a major difference. So these are versions, like we have Android 6, Android 7, Android 8, Android 9. In the same way, we have Windows operating systems also there, different versions of desktop operating systems also there. So that is your Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11. And in the server operating systems, again we have different versions. Okay, clear here? Server means it's a big machine, desktop means it's a small machine. Chalo? Server I'll show you. One will create servers, right, in our training. So you can see the servers also. Same. See, the interface is same, guys. It will be same as your desktop. Yeah, but the capacity will be like more. Okay, you can create a small server, you can create a big server also. Depends upon your requirement. See, your IRCTC and your WhatsApp, they are very big applications. Your Amazon, very big applications. So those applications needs a lot of RAM, lot of storage and all. Very small applications also will be there. Loan application, if you go to bank, they will open one application, they will fill your details and all. That is very small application. For that I don't need 128 GB of RAM, right? How much you can eat, that much only you can eat. If you can eat one biryani, and if I am giving two biryanis, you cannot eat. In the same way, but if you can eat two biryanis and if I am giving only one biryani, it is not sufficient. So in the same way, if it is application is small, machine will be small. Application is big, machine will be big. Machine or server, both are same. Fine? Clear, guys? Any questions here, please? No questions? Chalo. Okay. Let's discuss about the server operating systems versions, guys. Server operating systems versions. So we have different server operating systems versions. Again, we have Windows Server 2000, which was released in the year of 2000. And then Windows Server 2003, released in the year of 2003. Then 2008, then 2008 R2, then 2012, then 2012 R2, 2016, 2019. Can anyone tell me what is the latest Windows Server version? What is the latest Windows Server version? Can anyone tell me?
22.
Very
22.
good. You can guess it. Yes, Windows 2022 is the latest Windows Server operating system. And do you know we are going to practice on Windows 2022 with the SQL 2022. Latest versions from Windows side and latest versions from SQL side. We are going to practice on latest versions for this batch, guys. The last batch I just practiced with a SQL 2017, 2019 for this batch. Windows 2022 latest version, SQL 2022 is also a latest version. It depends. Very good question. See, here one question is there. So companies are going to use latest versions always. Yes, guys, tell me. Depends, right? If in the market, if iPhone 14 Plus came, are you going to buy immediately iPhone 14 Plus?
No.
You are going to throw your old phone and you will buy the iPhone 14 Plus. In case if you have a lot of money, you can do that. One of my friend is there, he is going to change iPhone for every 6 months, even though it is working properly. It's like crazy. Okay, so in the same way, if any new software came to the market, they don't suddenly change it to 2022. They will wait for some time, they will check how it is working. Then slowly their servers will be moved to the 2022. In the organization, you can see Windows Server 2000, Windows Server 2003, Windows Server 2008, 8 or to 12, all versions you can see. Sir, why sir all versions? Why? Because I'll tell you. Again, in the organization will maintain multiple applications, small applications, big applications. In the morning session, we discussed it, right? If application is not generating any revenue, why I will go for a latest version by investing more on that application? I will use the old version only, which is free. After 20 years, Microsoft will give it to you for free. No need to pay 1 rupee also. Why I will go for investment on Windows 2022? So it depends upon the applications and compatibility of the application. Compatible. Now can you install WhatsApp in the Android 4.0? It don't support. Why? Because once the new version came, it will stop supporting the older versions. So, sir, Windows 2022 is there. Why these people are still using Windows 16, 17, Windows 19, sorry, Windows 16 and Windows 19? Application may not be compatible with Windows 2022. What is meant by compatibility? I'll tell you. I'll give you an example and all. Okay, but this is how it will work. Yes, in the organization, you will have all the versions of operating system. It is a big project. If it is a small project, you can see latest versions 2016, 2019, 2022 and all. Clear? Any questions, guys? Please don't hesitate to ask questions. Any questions you can ask.
Hello.
Yes, please.
And different companies ఒకే వర్షన్ ఆల్ వర్షన్ వాడుతుంది సార్. ఇప్పుడు సపోజ్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఐబిఎంలో లేటెస్ట్ వర్షన్ ఓల్డ్ వర్షన్ అండ్ డిఫరెంట్ కంపెనీస్ ఐబిఎం నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ కంపెనీస్ లేరు కదా.
Different companies, see, it depends. See, you might use iPhone, I might use Samsung phone.
ఓకే ఓకే
Okay, it depends on your requirement. You are loving
the company.
That's it. Depends upon the company, depends upon their requirement. They are going to choose whether they 2022 or 2019. If they love one feature in the 2022, which is very famous, imagine they will immediately upgrade it for 2022. So IBM, you mentioned one company called IBM. IBM is a service-based company.
Yes.
Service-based company will handle multiple projects. In each project, they might use different operating systems. Got it?
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Salmak. I have one question.
Yes, please.
Yeah, actually, a client was asking that it is on older version, right? 2008 R2. when client asking, but which was the better to move to upgrade the server and database. So in that case, what we suggest to the client?
See, I'll tell you one thing. It's a good question actually, but here you are not going to decide. Your client has to sit with your architect. Your client has to tell the requirement. This is my application. These many users will be there for this application. We are expecting these many users. This much traffic will be there. We need this many features. Then your architect will tell, okay, this is the best product for you, you can go for this product, you can go for this feature. Your architect will decide whether they need what kind of versions and all. You are not going to decide. It's not in your hand with 4 to 5 years of experience. Okay, if still they are asking, you can route that question, that person to the manager. He is going to take care of it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi, Shanu. Am I
Yes,
audible?
yes, please. Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Actually, I have a doubt here.
Please.
Yeah. Windows Server and our desktop of operating systems are both same, right? But our desktop system is used to process small amount of data, when Windows Server is used to process a lot amount of data.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah. But our applications, our Windows operating system is a kind of system software. It used to run applications, but can we run any applications on top of the Windows Server?
If application is compatible, you can run. If application is compatible, you can run. What is compatibility? I'll tell you. If application is compatible, you can run.
Yeah,
No.
actually, I have one question.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Actually, do we have inbuilt Windows server in our system, or we need to download
No.
from?
See. Now you are buying one laptop. What if you buy a laptop in the this websites, Amazon and all? You will get it with Windows operating system, inbuilt operating system. Inbuilt
Okay.
means not inbuilt actually. They are going to install it and they are going to send it to you. That's it.
Yeah, along with the desktop operating system. Yeah, we are going to get a Windows Server operating system as well, right?
No, how come you are going to get Windows Server operating system? You don't get Windows Server operating system. Windows Server operating system is for enterprise, companies, people, public cannot use Windows Server operating system. If you have more money, you can buy the license from the Microsoft and you can use it. But generally, you don't get any Windows Server operating system with your laptop by default.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
get
got
only
it.
desktop operating system, that is Windows 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Any other
Yeah,
questions?
got it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions, guys, please? Yes.
Actually, if someone, a small scale industry is using SQL Server 2014, example, do they need to work on like Windows Server 2012?
I'll tell you. Yeah, we have that compatibility, so we'll discuss. Okay, guys, any questions, any doubts? Chalo. Right, you have to remember SQL Server versions. You have to remember Windows Server versions also. These two versions should be on tip of your tongue. Tomorrow morning, I'll ask you everyone. You can take a snap of these versions. Okay, tomorrow morning I'll ask you guys. Believe me, very important, very important. Okay, just take a snap of this. You can just take a snap now. Okay, if you cannot write down, you can just take a snap. Tomorrow I'll ask you, for sure I'll ask you. Chalo. Now we have one doubt. Can we install all these versions? These are all applications, right? Different versions of applications, same SQL Server. Can we install all these versions of SQL servers on all my Windows Server operating systems? Is it possible or not?
No, sir.
Can we install all versions of SQL servers on all versions of Windows Server? Is it possible or not?
No, sir.
Why no?
No.
Why no? Akpak Karepak no or Inky Pinky Ponky no?
No, sir. Actually, there is a specific rule for that. Less than 7 years or more than 7 years, so we can install.
Very good. Okay, that is called compatibility. Okay, that is called compatibility. What is this compatibility? Will give you a small example. When you are at the age of 4 years, 5 years, okay, generally we will wear the clothes, right? Can you wear the same clothes now? Is it possible? Whatever clothes you are using in your childhood, can you wear the same clothes now?
No, sir.
Why?
It's not fit for us.
Measurements are different, right? Your height is different. Complete measurements and all changed. So in the same way, SQL Server 2000 was released in the year of 2000. By that time, scientists don't know, right? In future, Windows 2019 will come, so that SQL Server can be installed on Windows Server 2019 and all. This is called compatibility, guys. You cannot install all versions of SQL servers on all the versions of Windows Server. There will be some limitations. That limitations is called compatibility. Then next question, sir, on what Windows servers I can install, what versions of SQL Server. So listen carefully. Any Windows server will support -7 to +7 years, guys. Any SQL server, any SQL server supports -7 to +7 years of support. Approximately it will support for 15 years. -7 to +7, 15 to 18 years it will support. +7 years of support. Okay, so now let me explain this example with the example. Now you want to know, sir, on what versions I can install my SQL Server 2012. On what Windows Server operating systems I can install my SQL Server 2012. Now, what is your SQL Server version? 2012. Okay. Now 2012. Apply this -7 to +7 thumb rule here. -7 to -7 of 2012. How much?
2005.
+7 of 2012.
19.
In this range, what and all Windows Server operating systems are there? In this range, what Windows Server operating systems are there? 2005 to 19. What and all operating systems are there?
8 R2, 12,
Yes,
12
yes,
R2,
yes,
16.
yes, correct. That's it. You can install your SQL Server 2012 on all these Windows Server operating systems. Control Z, Control C, Control V. Clear? Very simple. Very simple, guys. For sure you can install it. It might support some other one. I am not saying this is a thumb rule and all. This is a recommended practice by Microsoft. For sure you can install SQL Server 2012 on all these operating systems. At least if someone comes to you, hey Suresh, can you install my SQL Server 2005? Can you install SQL Server 2005 on Windows Server 2019? He is asking. One customer came to you. He is asking, hey Suresh, can you install SQL Server 2005 on my Windows Server 2019? What should be your next answer?
No.
You will calculate, right? 2005 -7, 1998.
Yes, sir.
2005 +7, 2012. 1998 to 2012. What and all operating systems are there? You can install on it. You cannot install it on Windows 2019. You cannot install it on Windows 2016 also. Hardly up to 2012 you can install, guys. Clear? Again I'll explain. I'm happy to explain again, guys. If you have any questions, let me know here. Any questions? Is it clear? If it is clear, I'll ask you a question. You have to type your answers directly to me. Chalo, ready? On what Windows Server operating systems I can install SQL Server 2000, 2018? Don't tell your answers outside, please. Please, I need answers in the chat only. I want to see. Try it, guys. No issues, no issues. Just try it. Whatever formula we have, -7 to +7, 2018 -7, 2018 +7, and in this range, what and all Windows Server operating systems are there? Just let me know.
2012.
No, don't tell your answers outside. Type your answers in the chat. I want to see how many intelligent people are there in this group. 10 answers, 11 answers. Out of 31, we got only 12 responses, guys, till now. 13 responses, 14 responses. Guys, quick, we don't have time. I want to see your QA levels. 15 answers. Chalo, 16. 16, that's it, huh? At least apply this inky pinky ponky rule, guys. 17. 18. 10 more people. If you people are sleeping, woke up, answer and you can go back to sleep. 19. 20. Chalo, 21. People are, I don't know. You can respond immediately, right? Why you are taking time? 22 people. Okay, 22 answers I got. I'm happy. 22 people are responded. I feel remaining 8 people are sleeping. Chalo, let's log this and let me open the answers. Very good, very good, very good, very good. New messages, Ravi Kiran 2020, 2011, 2025, Imtiaz 2012 to 2022, 2012 latest version, Gayatri 12, 12 R2, 16, 19, Mohan Raj 2012, 2025, Monica 2012, 2012 R2, 16, 19, 22, Prasanna 2011, 2025, 2011, Surendra, oh my God, Sarita, okay, 2025, Shyamala, very good, very good, Monica, super, Muni, good, Muni, okay, very good, very good.
Sir, actually, I thought I didn't.
Closed.
Okay.
Closed. Only Akhilesh is the winner of this. Okay, question, guys. Akhilesh, super. Okay, and Krista, very good, excellent. Guys, do we have SQL Server 2018?
No, sir.
No.
Then how come you are answering? You just answer. You gave a lot of answers, right? Only 2 people answered correctly, Akhilesh and Krista. Very good, guys. Very good. Excellent. Remaining all answer different versions. Guys, the answer should be there is no SQL Server 2018.
Sir, like I have also did not mention 2018. 12, 12 R2, 16, 19,
No.
20.
See, here I am not saying about 2018 version. First of all, do we have SQL Server 2018?
No. Okay.
In
No,
this list, do we have SQL Server 2018?
No. Actually.
Then how come you can install? You have to invent one software and you have to install on those operating systems.
Yeah, I got it now.
Okay, just kidding. Now ready with your answers? Now, on what Windows Server operating systems I can install SQL Server 2017, guys? Okay, SQL Server 2017. On what Windows Server operating systems I can install SQL Server 2017? Come on, quick. This time I am not playing with you guys. Okay, 2017 is there. So now tell me, -7 to +7. So don't give smart answers. People will give 2017 to 2017, right? So -7 2010, okay, and +7. How much +7 for 2017? 2024, right? 2024, right? So they will mention like this, sir, 2010 to 24. Sir, fill in the blanks. You have to fill it, sir, whatever Windows Server versions are there. Don't give the smart answers, okay? I need complete Windows Server versions. In this range, what and all Windows Server version. You can see on the screen itself, the answers you can see on the screen itself. Okay, so in this range, what and all Windows servers are there, just let me know the answers. Chalo, any questions, any doubts here? I got only 14 responses till now. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. Chalo, okay, let me open this. 20 done, guys. Okay. Ravikaran, let me tell you answer first, then you can calculate who is wrong and who is right. Okay, so let me close this. 2010 to 2024. Okay, 12 are to 16, 19, 2022. Okay, 2022. One minute, please. One minute, guys, just 1 minute. Chalo, okay, so Windows Server 2022. Right, Windows Server 2022. So let me check your answers now. 2012 to 2022. Okay, and Ravikiran 2012, 12 or 2, 17, 19, 22. Very good. Prasanna, very good. Sandeep, very good. Akhilesh, very good. 2016. Akhilesh, come on. I thought you're an intelligent guy. Akhilesh, what is this answer? What is this answer, Akhilesh? Please don't mind to point out, okay? So I'm not going to point out you, but it's my responsibility to correct you, okay? So do we have Windows 2017? Windows Server 2017, do we have Windows Server 2017?
No.
If you people are still confusing, guys, let me know. I'm happy to help you. No issues for me. Okay, so we have to tell Windows Server versions. You are going to install SQL Server on Windows Server, right? So your answer should be Windows Server versions. So you are giving SQL Server version also. So there is no Windows 2017. Okay, chalo, and okay, Akhilesh, Venkateshwarlu. Come on. See, guys, a smart answer. I love this answer. This is the answer. Sir, fill in the blank, sir. Whatever you want, you can fill it, sir. Please don't mind. So we have to discuss these things. Cynthia's 2012 to 2022. Again, I have to fill in the blanks. Giriza, okay. 2011 to 2024 in between. Very good. Your answer is good. And Venkateshwarlu, okay, fine. Giriza, Gayatri, okay, good. Prudvi 2012 to 2019, okay, you can add 2022 also. Sandeep 2012 to 2022. Again, fill in the blanks. Monica 2012, okay, 2022, good. Prasanna 2008. Prasanna, how come 2008? How come 2008 to 2019? Prasanna 2008. Now you got, guys, you got the answers. Those who told wrong answers, is it clear for you? If you have any questions, let me know, guys. I'm happy to help you. No issues for me. Prasanna and Akhilesh. No, not Akhilesh, sorry. Venkateshwarlu. Okay, and let me check. Prithvi, Monica, Prasanna, Mohanraj, okay, good. Surendra, fine. Shyamala, 2012 to 2022, fill in the blanks. Maunis, 2012. Akhilesh, 2012. Okay, fine. Okay, guys, that's fine, guys. Okay, I'm happy. So, anyone wants to, do you want me to explain again? Venkateshwarlu and one more guy, don't know, forgot about his name. Guys, do you want me to explain again this formula, compatibility? Is it clear, everyone? Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Simple thing, sir.
You want me to explain again? Is it fine? Can I proceed? Okay, chalo. So what you can do, take a break, okay? Take a break, come back after 15 minutes, now around 8:18, come back at 8:32, 32 or 33 or 8:35, no problem. Take a break for 15 minutes. We'll start by 8:35. Now it is 8:20, right? Almost. We'll start by 8:35. We'll discuss other things. Okay, take a break of 15 minutes. Guys, I'll be in mute. The recording will be paused.
Okay, sir.
Chalo, okay, let's fine. Okay, so is it clear? Still having any issues here, guys? Is it clear about compatibility, guys? Compatibility, sorry, hello, someone is asking question, it seems. Okay, chalo, fine. Still I'm not sure whether people are comfortable, but still I'll explain again what is this compatibility. Okay, so compatibility means, again, okay, so generally you cannot install very lower versions into higher versions of operating systems. You cannot install very lower versions, okay, SQL servers on higher versions of operating systems. So which SQL server will support what kind of operating systems? Okay, so that will be discussed under compatibility. Okay, so generally if you want to know on what Windows Server operating systems I can install SQL Server, means you have to follow this thumb rule. Always you have to follow one thumb rule called -7 to +7 years. Okay, again, it's not a formula, it's not a limitation, but it is a general practice by the Microsoft. Okay, so can I install it on other versions other than this? Sometimes if possible, yes, you can install, but this is for sure, this is for sure you can install your SQL servers on the respective ranges of operating systems, guys. Okay, so always SQL server, if you know SQL server version, generally no one will ask you what is compatibility in the interview, guys. It is just for our understanding purpose. No one will ask you -7 +7 and all, just for our understanding purpose. If any user comes to you, hey, can you install SQL Server 2019 on Windows Server 2005? Is it possible? SQL Server 2019 on Windows Server 2008, sorry, SQL Server 2019 on Windows Server 2008. Is it possible?
No.
2019, right? -7, 2012, +7, 2026, 2012 to 2026. Okay, so you cannot install on 2008 R2, 2008 and 8 R2 also you cannot install. So you should be in a position, yes, we can install, no, we cannot install. You should be in a position, you cannot give false statement to the users. Later he will come back, you only tell, right, so that I just planned accordingly. Now you are saying it is not possible, how come? Okay, so before itself you should be in a position to answer whether you can install or we cannot install. Okay, -7 +7 thumb rule. Okay, very simple thumb rule, guys. Chalo, now we'll discuss about these numbers. What are these numbers, where we can see these numbers? So let me show you how the SQL server will be. Now you want to see, right, how it will be, how it look like. To connect to SQL Server is an application. Again, it's a database software or application. Software or application, both are same. To connect to the SQL Server application, we'll use one tool. Okay, we are going to use one tool. The tool is called Management Studio. The tool is called Management Studio. By using this Management Studio, SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. By using this SQL Server Management Studio, you can connect to a running SQL servers. If the server is in shutdown state, you cannot connect. If you are sleeping, I cannot work, like you cannot respond, right? So if you are awake, then you can respond. In the same way, if server is shut down, you cannot connect to that particular shutdown. Why? Because it is not going to release any connection. It is already shut down. When your laptop is shut down, can you do anything? Can you listen to songs and all? Right? You cannot, right? In the same way, if the SQL server is shut down, you cannot connect. If it is up and running, you can connect using one tool called Management Studio. How to open Management Studio? Hit Windows button, type SSMS. Okay, type SSMS. Again, there is a separate session on Management Studio, don't worry. Just to show you. If you type in your laptop, can you see Management Studio? No. If you install SQL Server with Management Studio, then only you will get this Management Studio tool. If you install SQL Server, then only you will get this Management Studio tool, guys. I have installed in my laptop, so I can get Management Studio. Okay, in case if you want Management Studio, you have to install SQL Server in your laptop. That will be discussed. We have a separate class on SQL Server installations and all. So let me open so that I'll show you how SQL Server will be. You will get a basic idea. Then we'll discuss about these numbers. Okay, this build numbers. We'll call this number as build number. We'll call this number as a build number. What is this number, guys? It's a build number. Okay, build number. Build number contains 4 parts. Build number contains 4 parts. Major version, dot, minor version, dot, actual build number, dot, revision history. Okay, build number contains 4 parts. Major version, dot, minor version, dot, actual build number, dot, revision history. Okay, so let me show you. This was my Management Studio. This is my server. I have to provide server name. We have around 30 participants in our class. So now I want to call Akhilesh. I can use his name to call Akhilesh. I want to call Krista. I can use her name to call Krista. Right? In the same way, if I want to connect to server, I have to provide one name, right? That is called server name. You have to give one name. That is your server name. This is my server name. Then click on connect button. I'll explain about this Windows authentication and everything. I'll explain. Nothing to worry. What is this database engine? What is this Windows authentication? So can I connect now? Right, I am getting an error saying a network related specific instance occurred while establishing a connection. Why? Because my SQL server is not running. So I am going to start the SQL server. To show you, if you are unable to, if you are getting an error, means you should know, right, why you are getting an error. That is a troubleshooting step. As my SQL server is in stopped state, that's why I am unable to connect to the SQL server. I told you, right, you cannot connect to the SQL servers that are in shutdown state. Now my SQL server is stopped. So I am going to start it by going to the services. Open services.msc, hit S button. You can see all the services with S. This is my SQL server service. Okay, you can see start button, you can start it. Again, don't worry, I'll explain you everything. Just a basic, okay, how to start the service, how to stop the service and all. It's just basic, what I can say, introduction kind of thing. So once the SQL server is started, now you can see stop button, pause button, restart button. So now it is started. Now let's try again. Click OK. Now connect. This time it will release one connection. Hey, you are able to connect. You want to connect to SQL server, right? Take this connection. Why? Now it is up and running, right? Now it can give you a connection to you. See here, this is how SQL server look like, guys. This is how SQL server look like. This is my server name. It contains 3 parts. First part is server name. Second part is your bill number. This one, okay. Second part is your bill number. second part is your bill number. Okay, first part is your server name, second part is your bill number. You can see 4 numbers here: 15 one number, 0 another number, 2000 another number, .5 one more number, last number. 15 major version, 0 minor version, 2000 actual bill number, 5 revision history, guys. And who connected to the SQL server? What is the login name? This is the third part. What is the login name? Using which login name you connected to the SQL server? This is called your third part. So we are going to concentrate on the bill number, guys. So do I need to remember these bill numbers, complete bill number? Can I remember complete bill number and all? Not required. You can remember, okay, major version dot minor version. If you install SQL Server 2000, the build number starts with 8.0. For 97 7.0 we are not using, right? We are not at all using, but in still some organizations we are using 2000 till now. Till now also we are using 2000. Very old version, almost 22 years old version. Still we are using this SQL Server 2000. Why? Because some of my applications are not generating any revenue. I'm okay, I can use 2000. Okay, right. So 8.0. If you connect to SQL Server 2000, that bill number starts with 8.0. The third number, fourth number, forget about it. Not required. No need to remember. Lot of numbers will be there. If you want to see, I can show you. Go to browser. Go to SQL Server builds.blogspot.com. There you can see each version and their bill number. See here how many versions are there. SQL Server 6.0, 6.5, 7.0, and you can see 2000, and you can also see, okay, 2000, 2005, 2008. You can see here 8R2, 2012, 2012 R2, and sorry, 2012. 1 minute, my system was stuck. Just a minute. Right. Okay, chalo. Right, 2008, 8R2, 12, 14, 16, and 17, 19, and latest version 2022, guys. So if you see here, this is a different build number, 16.0, 1000.6. Can you remember this big number? 1000.6, 2000.5, 1000.169, 1600.1.5. Not required. No need to remember third number and fourth number. But you have to remember this first number and second number. Hardly second number will be zeros only. Only for SQL Server 2008 R2, you can see 10.50. So you have to hardly remember 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, guys. Okay, if you install SQL Server 2005, your build number starts with 9.0. If you install 2008, your build number starts with 10.0. 8R2 10.50. 2012 11.0, 14 12.0, 13.0, 14.0, 15.0, 16.0, guys. Now can you tell me which version it is? Can anyone tell?
2019.
19 or 22?
19. 19.
19 or 22?
19.
Or 22?
9. Sir.
Okay, 2019, guys. 2019 starts with 15.0. So this is, you cannot see which version. This is the only number which will help you to identify the version. Got the point? If you connect to the server, you cannot see which version it is. If you go to properties also, you cannot see which version of SQL Server it is. Okay, that is the only number which will help you to identify the version of the SQL Server. Can you see any version SQL 2022? Anywhere it was mentioned? No. This is the 2019, sorry. This is the only number will help you. Okay, you should be in a position to remember all these numbers. Very simple: 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 2005, 2000 onwards, 8.0, 9.0, 10.0, 11, 10.50, 11.0, 12.0, 13, 14, 15, 16. You have to remember these numbers. So for you tomorrow, yes, any questions? Morning, okay, fine. Right, so for you, the tomorrow's assignment will be SQL Server versions, Windows Server versions, bill numbers. Okay, bill numbers. I'll ask you tomorrow, what is the version of SQL Server? I'll ask you now quickly, we'll see. What is the version of SQL Server 2017, guys?
There is no 2070.
Is it?
In SQL Server, there is 2070.
Are you sure?
Sure, confirm.
Yeah, it's there. It's there. SQL Server is there. Windows Server is not there.
Who is going to confirm, Muni? Huh?
Sir, it's there, sir. Sir.
It's 13, sir.
Someone is confirming there is no SQL
It's
Server
14.0.
It's 14.
Okay.
It's 13.
Okay.
This is 14, sir.
Okay.
14.0.
14.
Okay, 14.0. No problem. Okay, so now we just checked these numbers, right? By tomorrow, just don't know what you will do. You by heart also no issues for me, but you should remember these numbers for pakka. These are very, very, very basics. Without learning ABCDs, you cannot construct sentences, right? Without learning these things, you cannot proceed further, guys. Fine. Chalo. So build numbers will help you. Build number is a number which will help you to find out the version of the SQL Server 8.0, 9.0, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, guys. What are these numbers then? If you remove this dot 90, this dot 80, this dot 70, what are these numbers?
Compatibility.
Yes, compatibility is also correct answer. And one more answer is there. What is that?
Build number.
No, build number. This is build number. Okay, and this is your binaries, guys. Binaries. Okay, what is this? Binaries. What is the use of this binaries? It will help you when you install SQL Server. When you install SQL Server in the C drive. Okay. It will create one folder called Microsoft program files. When you install any software in the program files, it will create one folder with that software. See, I have installed all these softwares in my laptop. For each software, it will create one folder in the C program files path. So I installed SQL Server, right? So it just created one folder here. If you open this folder, you can see these numbers. These are called binaries. These numbers will help you to store the binary related files and all. Okay, means some MSIs, MSPs will be there. That kind of files, some DLLs will be there, especially DLL files will be there. That kind of files, some supported files, simple words, supported files will be stored in these binaries, guys. So using these folders, can you tell me what and all SQL servers I have installed in my laptop? Using these folders, can anyone tell me what and all SQL servers installed in my laptop?
From 2000.
19.
19.
17.
19 and 17.
That's it.
1 second.
12.
Okay.
22 also.
2000.
Okay. Okay.
2005.
2008.
Okay. If you are confusing, I'll drag it like this. Okay.
2012.
Drag like this.
2012, 2005,
Now.
2022.
22.
Fine. Very good, guys. Okay, but here I have SQL 2022 in my laptop, SQL 2019 and 2017 also. I haven't installed 2016, but why I can see? Why? Because if you install higher versions, lower version folders also you will get it. Okay, I don't have SQL. Believe me, can I install SQL 2000 in my Windows 10 operating system? Not possible, right? I cannot install. Why? Because -7 +7 will be applied here also, in the desktop also it will apply. But sir, why you can see 8090? Why? Because when you install higher version, basic features are there in the lower versions folders. So 8090 110 pakka you will get it when you install any SQL server. 8090 pakka you will get it. Other than that, the highest version folder means you install that particular SQL server in your laptop. Okay, chalo. Fine.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So let's discuss these points, okay, and about this also, platform independent, dependent and all. And then we have already discussed about the bill number format, then we'll stop the session for today, okay. I don't want to load tons of data on the first day itself, okay, fine. So earlier we discussed, right, we can install SQL servers on Windows Server operating systems. So yes, this is correct for up to SQL Server 2016. Up to SQL Server 2016, you can install SQL servers on Windows Server operating systems, either desktop or server operating systems. But 2017 onwards, SQL Server is a platform dependent. Up to 2016, SQL Server 2016, SQL Server is platform dependent. Means you can install SQL Server only on the Windows Server operating systems. Platform, what is the platform here? Operating system is the platform. So up to SQL Server 2016, you can install SQL servers only on Windows Server operating systems, either Windows desktop or on Windows Server operating systems. Only on Windows operating systems, either desktop or server. Desktop or server OS. Right? From 2017 onwards, SQL Server is a platform independent. SQL Server is a platform independent. Okay, that means you can install SQL Server on Windows operating systems plus Linux operating system also. Okay, earlier, if you want to install SQL Server, you have to buy SQL Server licensing, you have to buy Windows Server licensing also. Now if you want to install, see, we have an option called Linux OS. Linux OS is always free, guys. It's a freeware. Everyone can install it, everyone can use it. For support you have to give some charges and all, but Linux OS is free. Windows OS is too costly, but Linux OS is free, guys. And security wise, Linux OS is, see, Linux is on a kind of flavor in operating systems. We have different operating systems again, Windows operating systems, Linux operating systems, what is that? Unix operating system, CentOS operating system, okay, and iOS operating system for Apple devices, iOS operating system. So up to SQL Server 2016, you have to buy SQL Server licensing and Windows Server licensing also. But from 2017 onwards, both, if you want, you can go for Windows operating system. If you want, you can go for Linux operating system. So that Linux side OS is free, so no need to spend money on operating system. Only you have to spend money on SQL Server 2017. I mean SQL servers only. Sorry, SQL servers only. You have to spend licensing cost on SQL servers only. But till now, no Linux OS is not famous, guys. No one is using Linux OS with SQL Server in the organizations. Not even 0.1% also. Even though Microsoft introduced this Linux SQL Server on Linux, but still even 0.1% also not using SQL Server with Linux. So do I need to learn Linux now? Not required. 99.999% is SQL with Windows they are using in the organization. No need to learn any Linux operating systems now. Okay. Chalo. So just we have to know, right? So what is platform dependent, independent and all. Independent means there is no particular platform. You can install it on either Windows or Linux. Dependent means it will depend on operating system. You should install only on the Windows operating systems only. Chalo?
Sir, I have a small doubt here.
Yes, please.
Sir, at Windows level, should we purchase the storage also, or it will be inbuilt for any
You have to
OS?
purchase storage also.
Okay, okay, sir.
Windows level you have to purchase. Why? Because anything you have to purchase. If you want big storage and all, definitely again, see, now only if you need 256 GB SSD, you have to pay something, and 512 GB SSD, you have to pay something, right?
Yes, yes.
You are increasing your storage itself, your amount also will be increased. The same way, in the organization also storage is also not free, you have to pay extra money.
Even though if you are using Linux OS means also we have to
Yes.
spend.
There also storage you have to spend. Only operating system is free. Who will give terabytes of storage for free?
That's what I'm little bit
No, not possible.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Any questions here? Platform dependent, independent? No questions? Ah. So small topic, we'll discuss this topic and then finally we'll wrap up the session for today. Huh? Chalo. What is CTP, what is RC and what is RTM? CTP, Community Technology Preview. CTP means Community Technology Preview. Again, earlier in the morning session we discussed it, right? If scientists wants to introduce corona vaccine, first they will go for clinical trials. They will first test it on animals. If results are satisfied, they will go for human clinical trials and all. They will test it on some humans on different age groups. Finally, they will do some corrections and all. In case if any side effects are there, they are going to increase some portions here, they are going to decrease some portion. Based on that, they are going to do some corrections. Finally, the end user, after refining that product, okay, that can be given to the public, right? Testing. I just want to tell you one point here, testing. If Microsoft wants to introduce SQL Server 2024, imagine 2022 is released, right? Imagine SQL Server 2024, it just want to release. So directly it is going to release to the market? No, right? First, they will, that scientists, 100 members or 200 members will be there. They will first work on it, what and all features we want to introduce for 2024. For 2024 means they will think for future, next 2 years. Okay, and not only next 2 years, 2024 will valid for next 7 years, means up to 2031. What features we have to improve, what we have to add, what we have to remove. So they will do some what is that, head breaking sessions and all. They will think it, and finally they will introduce some new features, but don't know, right, how these features will work. So first of all, if Microsoft wants to release any version to the public directly, first they will release CTP version. How many of you know this first copy, second copy of t-shirts, third copy of t-shirts? How many of you know, guys? If any brand is releasing some t-shirts, it is going to release first copy, second copy and all for extra quality. First copy of shoes, second copy of shoes. For any big brands, it will be there. First copy, second copies will be there. In the same way, if Microsoft wants to introduce any new version, first it will release it to the community people. Sir, who can be part of community? Anyone can be part of community. You can also be a part of community, Microsoft community. You can simply join with your Outlook account, so that whatever they are going to release in future, 2024. Now you know, right, Prime sales and all. In the Amazon, imagine Republic Day sales are going to start from January 26th. Okay, but before that they are going to start it, right, Jan 22nd, 23rd. If you have a Prime membership, you can access that offers one day before itself. In the same way, whatever Microsoft is releasing, before releasing it to the public, community people can download that software from the Microsoft community. You can work with that softwares. You can find the bugs. You can give some suggestions to the Microsoft. Hey, this is like this is like that. Hey, there is a bug here. Any software will have a bug, right? What is difference between bug and error? Can anyone tell me? What is the difference between a bug and an error?
Yes, sir. Bug means it's a like it's not processing as much as expected.
It is error in the software. Bug means.
Error is
Security issues.
different. Error is different. Bug is different. I'll give you one example. Bug means a faulty behavior of the software. Faulty behavior of the software means software is not working as expected. Simple example, when MSET introduced on OMR sheets, when MSET is a engineering college exams, guys, those who are from US or from other states, MSET is an exam which will help you to get into engineering colleges and all. It's a common entrance test. So when MSET was introduced on OMR sheets, okay, so generally we will have 4 answers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or else let me go here. OMR sheet, OMR sheet. Okay, so now you can see like this. Now this is how it will be. Images. This is how it will be. Generally OMR sheet will be like this, right? So you can see here, you can mark your answers, 1, 2, 3, 4 answers and all, you can mark it. Okay, so like this you can see. If the answer is 1, you can type, you can mark 1, or if the answer is 2, you can mark answer 2. So when it was introduced on OMR sheets, what happened? One guy initially, knowingly or unknowingly, don't know, one guy marked all the 4 answers. All the 4 answers. Total he marked all the 4 answers. How software will work? If the answer is C, it will check whether C is marked or not. If the answer is A, it will check whether A is marked or not. If the answer is something B, it will check whether B is marked or not. But what during the initial days, what happened? They write the logic like this. If answer is C, add 1 mark. But they missed one logic here. If they are going to mark all 4 answers or 4 ABCDs, what computer will do, what software will check whether C is correct marked or not. It don't care other options. So he got 160 by 160, guys. He got 160 by 160. This is the faulty behavior of the application. Now is it clear? That is not an error. Developers missed the logic here. Is it clear, guys? Developers missed the logic here. So later they do some corrections, and then if you are marking more than 1 answer, your question is not valid. You are not going to get any mark. Clear? So that is called bug. Bug is a faulty behavior of the software. The software is not working as expected. Error means you are not using the software properly. Okay, you have to give one input, instead of that you are giving another input. You are not using the software properly. That is an error. Okay, so bug is different. Bug is a faulty behavior of the software, or a problem in the code is called a bug. Okay, an error is nothing but you are not using the software, you are not selecting the correct option. That is an error. Then you will get an error, guys. Okay. Fine. So to avoid these bugs and all, first Microsoft will release the software to the community people. Community people can download it, can work with it. If they found any bugs and all, they can inform to Microsoft. And so guys, by finding bugs also you can earn money, you know. Do you know this? By finding bugs in a software, you can earn money. They are going to give you, Microsoft is going to give you $5,000, depends upon the bug. Not only Microsoft, different companies will give you, if you found any bug in any software or any application. Sometimes in the Amazon, one product, iPod or iPhone, not sure. The user got it for 1,000 rupees only, 1,000 or 2,000 rupees. That's a bug actually. How come you will get an iPhone for 1,000 rupees? Something went wrong. So automatically it was updated as 1,000 rupees. Okay, if you found any bugs in any application, the companies will give you some, okay, what you can say, money also. They are going to award you some money, guys. Okay, so people are earning by finding bugs and all. See, that is the first copy. You can download it, community people can download it, they can work with it. If you have any issues, you can inform to Microsoft Windows, automatically they are going to fix that bugs. But you cannot install this CDP on your production environments or in the organization. You cannot, this is not a licensed copy. Unlicensed softwares you cannot install in the organization, guys. Microsoft is going to penalize the penalties. Huge penalties will be there if they found. Sir, how come they came to know? Microsoft will go to audit the companies every year. It will go to companies and it will run some PowerShell scripts. It can found how many versions are licensed, how many versions are unlicensed, and based on that, if you are using any unlicensed versions, any cracked versions and all, Microsoft will go for a legal action on the company, which is a huge amount, guys. You have to pay fines to the Microsoft. So no one is there to install free softwares in the organization. Okay, so CTP is the first copy. Okay, community people can download it, can work with it. If they found any bugs, they can inform to Microsoft. Microsoft will fix that bugs, and they will release second copy, which is called released candidate, RC, released candidate. Okay, it is a second copy. It is also having some bugs and all. Finally, you can inform to Microsoft, or Microsoft people will came to know any bugs and all. Finally, they will refine the particular software. Finally, the refined product is RTM, released to market. This software everyone can download, and you have to pay a licensing fee. This is not free. This is a paid version. You can download and you can use in the organization. Okay, you have to pay licensing for the Microsoft, guys. This is the SQL Server 2005 you will have RTM, 2008 you will have RTM, 2000 the first base copy of that particular SQL server. The first base copy of that SQL server is called an RTM, released to market, guys. Okay, on top of that some updates will be there. Now you are using PhonePe. Every week or every 15 days you will get an update. On top of the PhonePe, you are going to install the updates. So these are service packs, cumulative updates. These are different updates that can be discussed in the coming classes. I am done from my side for now. Okay, so that's it from my side. If you have any questions, I am happy to help you. I can sit till 9:30 if you have questions. If you don't have any questions, that's okay. We can wrap up the session for now. Tomorrow morning sharp 7 o'clock we are going to connect again. Chalo? Any questions,
Yes,
any doubts, please? So don't worry, guys. I am not going to dump everything on a same day. So we'll slowly increase the sessions and all. Okay, so don't worry. So for the first session, right? So that's it. This is enough. And again, take a snap of all these versions. Tomorrow morning I'll ask you, including build numbers also. Take a snap if you still missed. Just take a snap of this and Windows servers also. Okay, chalo. Any questions, any doubts, any suggestions, please? Classes are going too fast, too slow, too basic.
Hi, sir.
Yes, please.
Actually, like in the CTP, we'll be identifying any errors for that. And in the RC, we get to the RC after fixing them or just identifying them.
No, after fixing the issue, again Microsoft will release. See, 2024 is going to release the CTP first. The first copy of 2024, you can, community people can download. Once they fix that bugs, that 2024 software will be there, right? So if you found any bugs and all, you can inform to Microsoft, or somehow Microsoft will came to know. Then Microsoft will refine, it will remove those bugs and all. Second copy it will release, that is called your RC. The second copy of a refined software. So 2024 RC. See here, you can see here. Let me show you. You will get an idea. So here in the buildsblogspot.com we are using, right? Let me show you install Windows servers. I'm going to help you, Imtiaz. I'm going to help you for Windows servers and all. Don't worry. Okay. So this is the builds blogspot. For example, 2022 recent version, right? Let me click here. See here, CTP1. CTP 2.0, CTP. Earlier, see how many CTPs it released. CTP 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 3, means this many bugs it's fixed. Once CTP is done, then RC0, RC1. Finally, it released an RTM product. Means whatever bugs are there in all these versions, it just fixed, it just removed all the bugs, and finally it released a refined copy into the market, that is your RTM. Sir, don't we have any bugs in the RTM? We might have. Why? Because you might use in one way, another company might use in a different way. In that case, you might get bugs. I'm not saying RTM is the final product, there is no bugs and all. No, depends upon your usage. There will be still bugs, but earlier 100 bugs are there. Okay, in CTP. In RC, maybe 10 bugs will be there. In RTM, maybe 2-3 bugs will be there. The bugs count is going to reduce. Okay?
Yeah.
Any
It
questions?
means more the CTPs, a lot number of versions on the one thing, more number of CTPs on one version.
Yes, yes. So we don't use CTPs and all. Generally, you should know what is the difference between CTP, RC, RTM. But we always use RTM only. Nothing to worry about this CTP, RC. Okay.
Okay.
We don't use at all. We are not going to download it in the organization. We'll always use RTM copies only.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. No problem. Any other questions, guys? See here, SQL set 2019. What is the bill number? 2000.5. Okay, so if you see here, 2000.5. And if I found the version, if I want to check the version of the SQL server, I can write a new query. Don't worry about it. I'll explain what is this new query, how to open new query window. Okay, what is the query? Select version. Okay, when you execute alt text or click on execute button. Okay, when you execute, you can see here in the brackets, see RTM copy. Means this is the base version of 2019. 15.0, right? You can see here 2019. Right? We will install only RTM copies. On top of that, if any updates are there, we are going to install the updates. Chalo guys. Any other questions, please? Any other questions? Are we good?
No problem. No, sir.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Fine then. Okay. And this will be uploaded by tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow you will get access for this video. Okay. You can get in the same. We have already created batch 48. I hope. Not sure how many of you checked. We have already created a batch 48 playlist in our channel. Okay. So YouTube again SQL DBA classes. Just type SQL DBA classes, and you can see this is our channel. And okay, go to playlists and batch 48 playlist. This is our first class. Okay, this is our first class. And again, now we just recorded. Okay, so you can see here, guys. Okay, you can see here. Is that, yeah, SQL DBA batch 48. Okay, another video will be uploaded. Now we just recorded this session, right? This video will be uploaded by tonight or tomorrow morning. You can access this video. Okay, chalo. Yes, guys, that's it for now. Okay, if you still wants to access some Telugu series and all, you can go down and you can see Telugu classes also will be there. See, 70 classes are there, Telugu batch. If you still wants to access, you can still watch these videos and all 70 classes will be there. Okay, so this is how it will work, guys. Okay, then that's fine, guys. I'm going to wrap up the session for now. Tomorrow we'll connect at 7 a.m. in the morning. Okay, yeah.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Good night, guys. Good day.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.